Well, hey, Kurt, thanks for having me share today. I thought it would be kind of fun since we're talking about the whole concept of planting seeds and harvesting to do actually a talk from a vineyard. So a little ambiance in the back here today. Okay, so I just wanted to say I have a deep appreciation for all that farmers do. I would say thinking like a farmer is the key to our business, actually. A friend of mine is a homesteader, and she shared with me, and I wanted to share this with you. She shared with me that you need to plant lots of different seeds at the right time in the right soil and take the time to really nurture them in order for them to grow well. So you need to be committed, she said, and understand it takes time to nurture them. She also said that having unrealistic expectations will only create a lot of frustration and tempt you to give up. So she also gave me some good advice saying that we need to allow ourselves to learn the process and to just to kind of think out of the box at times. And she said there's a lot of experimenting to figure out what works best. And to be successful, you need to prepare, be teachable, and also just learn from those who've been doing this like longer than you. So I was thinking, we have to ask ourselves, how many seeds have we been planting, right? And how is the timing of when we are planting those seeds? And are we nurturing what we want to grow? Are we investing in relationships? Are we tilling that ground by asking good questions and focusing on what really matters to them? Or are we planting one or two seeds and then just expecting this quick harvest? As a lot of us know, some plants can grow quickly, but most of them take a little while. So plants, this is kind of interesting, plants need space to grow. If they are too close or too far apart, that can cause issues. So we have to ask ourselves, are we listening to people's needs? Are we giving them that space? Or are we rushing our friends and our family and wanting them to just like get it right away, right? Are we leaning in and utilizing those who have gone before us in this business? Are we asking the questions and engaging regularly with our leaders? Are we taking those opportunities to learn and grow? So I believe we really need to take ownership of growing ourselves and our businesses because no one else is going to do it for us. We reap what we sow. This is just a principle. We reap what we sow. It's just a general principle in life. And if we sow generously, we will reap generously. If we sow sparingly, we will also reap sparingly. So we need to sow many, many acts of love, education, and hope. And when we do this consistently and generously, we will be amazed at the harvest. So that's a little bit of just some of my thoughts in regards to just harvesting and how you think of it and connect it. But to bring it more to personal level and how this is kind of played out in my business, I thought this might be a good example that's actually really recent is I look for fertile soil. So, what does that mean? Meaning maybe like a certain event that is very effective that I see that's worth investing my time into, or it could be a person that I see as being fertile ground. So, for instance, right now we have this huge gut health focused Facebook event going on for 30 days, right? And we have a huge amount of our Juice Plus community contributing to it with live education every day. I'm like so excited about it. So I believe that there's basically two key things that have helped me build a sustainable business. It's education and community, those two things. So I saw this event as a beautiful opportunity to help everyone, whether that's a team member, a customer, or someone that I've already been planting seeds with, to experience those two key things. So I have put a lot of energy into personally inviting as many people as I can. My goal has been at least 100 people or more. And honestly, it's a lot of work, right? Reaching out one on one is a lot of work. I'm leaving like private messages. I'm not doing project broadcasts. I'm strategically using specific marketing images and links and just, again, leaving that verbal voice message to keep it as personal as possible. So it has been a lot of work, but I believe it's worth it. And because I'm willing to go that extra mile, put in that extra work and plant lots of seeds there, because why? Because that soil is fertile to me. And I believe if I do this, I'm going to reap a harvest, right? And I do take notes when we do different things though, because and what I mean by that is, we are investing our time into something, right? And so sometimes we do something like this and we see lots of growth, and sometimes we don't. So again, we need to think like a farmer. We got to be teachable. We got to learn what works best and what doesn't work. Okay. So, in my opinion, building anything in life with excellence and something that's going to truly last, okay, that's truly lasting, it's a process, period. It's a process. So this is a major struggle, I know, for many people because especially in this culture, we are definitely like this instant gratification society. We want everything now. Actually, we want everything yesterday. And I'd like to give you just this inside scoop on how me getting to NMD actually came to happen. So I was not very active for a few years due to being called for a season to something else, a few years of that. And so when I came back in the beginning of 2023, I decided that I was going to need to rebuild community and I needed something that would create momentum. So what we decided to do actually was an intentional wellness retreat that was multi-purposeful to build our businesses. We were very strategic in who we invited and what we did. So we created this space for like deeper bonding, connection, it just also to experience our Juice Plus community in a very natural way. And we just sprinkled just a little bit of Juice Plus education and products. So little that people would have had no idea, wouldn't have even picked up on the fact that it was a, Juice Plus retreat. We didn't even call it that. Okay, so why? Why? Because learning about Juice Plus, right? The products, the community, the mission is a process. It's a process. So we saw lots of growth with team members from that. And then what happened is 6 months later, that is when we did our 30 sourdough workshops. Now, I wouldn't really encourage anyone necessarily to do that many workshops. It's kind of a little overkill. But the point is, I was traveling back to Michigan, right, where most of my team are, and most of my relationships. And so I decided to be very intentional about throwing out many seeds and cultivating as many seeds I had already planted while I was there. So out of that came a huge amount of growth. Some of you guys have heard a little bit of my story, but my income doubled and I didn't know what to do with myself. It was kind of crazy. I was kind of holding on. So here's the thing. I guess I would say when this all happened, I would think of it as all of a sudden I was having all these plants that sprouted. So think of like when you plant a seed and then just that little sprout comes out. So all of a sudden I had like all these sprouted plants, right? So what's interesting about that is there was still a lot of work to do, right? Just because I got the seeds and obviously watered it, and now that they were sprouting, there's still a lot of work to do to get them in a place where they could actually bear fruit. They needed to be watered, get sunshine, and just have my attention if I really wanted these plants to grow strong and be able, right, to plant their own seeds, right? That's the goal. So that was basically 2024. A lot of cultivating, a lot of watering, sunshine, all the things. So what we did is we also during that time had another wellness retreat. But this time it was only for my team. So we could get those roots in even deeper in the soil. So this wellness retreat had really actually nothing to do with Juice Plus other than it was all partners that attended. And so the roots are community and education. It's those two key things again. Again, community and education takes time, right? So now fast forward to this past year, 2025, I let my team know I was going to go for national marketing director and that I was ready to harvest all that was planted for those past 2 years. And harvest time, you guys, can be a lot of work too, right? So we worked really hard at the end, but we were harvesting years of seeds that had been planted. And then in June, we got to reap what we had sown, which was so amazing. And here's something that's just, I think, so sweet is when we work as a team to plant, to cultivate, and then harvest together, it's just this beautiful thing. And so I guess I'll end with saying this. What we need to think about is what season are we in right now? Are we in a planting season? or a cultivating season or a harvest season. I want you to think about that. We're always in one of them. And I think the secret is to be content no matter which one we're in. And when I say content, I don't mean not to have goals to get to the next season, but I mean, we have to work towards that next season. But as humans, we tend to always want to be in a different season than we are instead of living in this season with intention and purpose and just doing it well. I mean, who wouldn't want to live in the harvest season all the time, right? So I'd encourage you to ask yourself, what season am I in? Am I being faithful in whatever season that is? Or am I trying to be in the harvest season and just skip that planning and cultivating process? Because this is going to cause a lot of frustration and discouragement in us with our business. So take a step back, assess things, and just be honest. Find someone who is maybe in a similar season as you and link arms with them. If we do it in the right order and understand that it's a process, then we will have so much joy, hope, and peace as we continue to build towards that next place we want to be. I hope some of this was helpful and something you can really just take some time to think about, because I really want you to be able to just be able to walk in the blessings of this business. So thanks again, Kurt, for just having me. I so appreciate it.